Hi, beautiful souls, and welcome to my third episode. I actually forgot today that I had to do this. So I am a little less prepared than I have been the other 2 weeks, but I still have a lot that I'd love to share with you. So if you have a moment and care to listen, today we'll be talking about the role we play in our own suffering. And I'll share with you some of the things that I had. I have cats wandering around. So if you wonder if I suddenly look away, it's because they're doing something and I'm just being mindful if I need to catch something from here or there before it hits the ground. Um, so please excuse my side glances. Um, yeah, the role we play in our own suffering. I had a really powerful dream the other day that I'll share with you because it, I guess, crystallizes the um, the way that our subconscious is a huge. Some people don't remember their dreams. I dream prolifically. I have predictive dreams. I have yeah, all sorts of different types of dreams. Mostly when you're doing dream interpretation, people believe that if someone's chasing you, it's a fear. It's not actually a physical person, but it's an aspect of yourself that you're scared to face. If there's a masculine or a feminine energy prominent in your dream, generally, sometimes if you're psychic, you might have dreams about people, which I do. But generally, it's an aspect of yourself that is being shown to you through the image of another woman or man, or the feminine or masculine side of yourself. So I'm going to invite you to keep a dream journal if you haven't really done it. It's something that's really powerful. It's a beautiful way that our subconscious communicates with us. We process a lot of trauma. Our brain heals overnight in our deep sleep state. So it's a really important part is getting good, deep, restful sleep. So if you're struggling with mental health, like I have been in the past, sleep is there's sleep and there's too much sleep. There's sleep to avoid life and there's sleep to restore, recharge, and rejuvenate ourselves. So good quality sleep to restore, recharge, and rejuvenate is really important. So I had a dream the other night that there was a kitten underneath. What was it underneath? I can't remember. Underneath the car, maybe. And I, called to it and made some noises, and it came out to me. And in the modality one of the modalities that I've worked with, the liquid crystals or studied, is the cat is connected to reciprocity, which is self-love. Dogs are about forgiveness, and the cat's about self-love. If you think about it, it makes sense. Cats are always cleaning themselves. Everything's always on their terms. So this kitten was there, and it was covered in these spiky balls, like buzzies, we call them here, but there's some grass seeds that were in spiky balls. And I started to pull them off this kitten so that she wasn't in so much pain from every time she moved. These little spiky balls were going into her skin. And she was, wet and disheveled. So I started pulling these off. And then someone in the distance said they were unrolling some leather. It was my housemates. And I said, I don't think it's leather. I actually think it's rubber. And then I realized that the kitten was behind me and I was no longer pulling out the little spiky seed balls from her fur. I was pulling them out of my hand and I was pulling them out of this rubber that my housemates were talking about. It's a dream. It doesn't make sense. But then in the dream, I had the realization that the kitten was now free from those spiky ball things. I'd removed them all, but I was pulling them out of my hand and then pulling them out of this bit of rubber. And as I was pulling them out of the rubber, they were getting stuck in my hand. So it was like this level of self-harm. Like I was continuing this process, even though an inanimate object now had these spiky seeds in it. I continued to do that and it continued to hurt me and hurt my hand. And the kitten was off. So then I was like, I need to look after the kitten. So I need to stop hurting myself. So I then turned around and started tending to the kitten and made sure the kitten was okay. And the dream moved on to something else. But it really brought home to me the way that we sometimes continue patterns of self-harm, whether that's through abusive relationships or neglectful relationships, whether that's through lack of self-care. And with a cat as the example, that was what it was for me. I was harming myself when I had actually healed that done the self-love bit. I was then going and harming myself by re-pricking my hand, by trying to pull those spikes out of something that didn't matter if the spikes were there. So I'm just going to invite you to maybe have a bit of a look, if it feels right for you and safe for you, to do what I did if it feels okay, to have a look at yourself and go, okay, where in my life am I possibly creating pain where it doesn't need to be? Like, there's a concept that we're not actually broken. We're all perfect as we are. And while I do understand that concept and I do resonate with it to a degree, I guess it gets a little bit, the interpretation of that and the nuances involved in that are, for me, quite complex, because I know that realizing that parts of me aren't how I know a healthy version of me would be, and parts of me operate from fear. I know that by taking the time to heal or look at those aspects of myself with love, and seeing myself as a beautiful little girl who's done things to protect herself that now maybe no longer serve her, that those parts of me, by me giving love and attention, is healing those. It's giving them what they didn't feel they had. So while I understand that we are all perfect in our brokenness, and we really are, it's our comparison, it's our feeling like we should be different, should be further along, should be more successful, should be fitter, slimmer, happier, cooler, funnier, whatever it is. It's a comparison point that we are looking at. But if we know that something in our life is present because of fear, so for example, I'm looking at the aspects of myself that I keep protected, or that I don't have the consistency in commitment to, that keep me in a place of safety. And we all may have different things that we do, different habits. We might drink too much, we might smoke too much, we might party too much, we might work too much, to avoid dealing with the aspects of ourselves that we don't want to deal with, or don't want to face, or don't know how to. So by looking at that really lovingly and really gently, we can take a moment to really notice whether we are perpetuating a pattern, because there's a beautiful saying. I'll see if I can remember it. Well, the only constant is change, is one. But if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if we don't change how we relate to ourselves, if we don't change how we nurture and care for ourselves, then we're going to keep these patterns that have been designed to protect us, but actually no longer do. We're going to keep them up. So I want to invite you to do a bit of a stock take for your life, for the things that maybe cause you pain. I noticed that, I would look around my house, and a little while ago I realized I like things to be organized and structured. I'm Capricorn. I like things. I've got a strong Cancer rising, but I'm Capricorn by my sun sign. So I like things to be organized and structured. However, there are parts of my home that are like the cluttered corner, or the corner that's, the cupboard that's got everything shoved in that I haven't really figured out how to deal with. So the rest of it is looking peaceful and calm. And if my home space isn't looking organized and calm and peaceful, even if it's got a lot of stuff in it, as I've moved around, things have had to fit into different size spaces, it's kept me feeling calm. And when those spaces become cluttered or disorganized, or I've got little piles, building up in corners of things that I will sort out at another time, that's when I know that I start to feel anxious and stressed, because I don't like that feeling of I've got all this stuff to do. I can't relax because I have all these things to do. But when I'm having a low headspace, but I can't be bothered doing that, or I've got so much other stuff to do. I've got, I'm starting a business, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and they're all more important. But what I failed to realize was it's actually more important for me to have these things organized and completed and squared away, so that I can feel safe in my home space, and not like I've got this massive list of things around me to do that I'm not getting to, and therefore going, Jo, you haven't done it again. You haven't done this. This is still sitting there. You need to get to this. I realized how much that constant weight of having a list of things to do was actually weighing on me, was actually weighing on my mind and my capacity to do things. So are there aspects of your life where you are maybe self-harming through perpetual habits, and actually realizing that maybe you've healed that little bit, but you're just used to the pain. You're just used to rescuing and helping everybody else and putting your needs last. That you're actually doing on autopilot, and no one actually needs rescuing or saving. No one needs your help right now because you've done that. Now you can just focus on you. Now you can focus on pulling all those little spikes out of your own hand. Just a thought. So it's a little quick one today because I was a little bit forgetful. I'm launching my business in a couple of weeks and I'm very excited. I hope this resonates. And if you've got any questions, shoot me a message or comment below, and have the most beautiful week. Be kind, be gentle, spend time in nature, breathe. Breathe, ground. Be in nature and know that everything is perfect. Even in its mess, it is perfect. You are safe, you are loved. Be kind, especially to yourself. Bye for now.